I'm King Alice, and we are going to do my first ever book tag. It's going to be so exciting for everyone involved because I created it, and it's all about spring. Because spring is here, kind of. And it's May, so we're going to do it all about flowers because our April showers brought May flowers. So now we're going to talk all about flowers and their symbolisms and their meanings and how that pertains to books, because everything in this channel always comes back to books. And we're just going to get right into it, so let's get going. So the first flower we're going to be picking from our garden is a daffodil, which means rebirth and new beginnings. So you're going to be picking a character that has changed or started anew over the course of the book or the series. And the character that I chose is Calliope from The Dazzling Heights, which is the second in the Thousandth Floor series by Catherine McGee. I picked Calliope because I think at the beginning of this book, she starts out as this girl who all she cares about is money and looks and just hitting her next target and then leaving. But as she just goes through the book and meets the characters and, you know, falls in love with everything and everybody, she changes and she wants more of a normal life. And I think that represents good daffodil-like change in my eyes, you know, as daffodils are. So for the next flower in our garden, we are going to be picking tulip, which means perfect love. So for this, you're going to be picking a romance that you thought was the perfect love story. And for this, I picked Magnus and Cleo from the Fallen Kingdom series by Morgan Rhodes, and this is not the first in the Fallen Kingdom series. This is the fourth in the Frozen Kingdom series. But this is the book where they actually fall in love, so I thought I'd pick this one and show it to you because their love story is so cute, because most books, like the characters fall in love in that first book, but Magnus and Cleo didn't fall in love until the third book, really, but they didn't express and admit their love until the fourth book. And it's just, you got to watch them start out hating each other and watch their love grow from there. And I could just go on and on and on and on and on about their love story, and I probably will in another video, but for now we're going to leave it there, that they are my favorite love story of all time. So the next flower we're going to be picking in our garden is a bluebell, which means humility and gratitude, and you're going to be picking a series that you were just very grateful for. And this was a really hard decision because there's just so many series and books that I am grateful for, and I really was tempted to pick The Vampire Academy because, as you will find out throughout the course of this channel, I love The Vampire Academy. But instead, I picked Harry Potter by J.K. Rowling because it's just the perfect book series. It really is. And every time I reread these, I feel like I'm coming home to something, whether that be Hogwarts or Hogsmeade or, you know, England, a place I don't live, or, you know, Godric's Hollow or whatever. I feel like this is my home. So I am the most grateful for these books. The next flower we are going to be picking is an orchid, which is a flower that represents wealth and beauty and strength. So for this, you're going to be picking a character that you think represents beauty and strength. And I picked Mirabella from the Three Dark Crowns series by Kendara Blake because I adore Mirabella. I think she's absolutely amazing. And the other girls in the book, they also have beauty and strength. I'm not saying that they don't, but I loved Mirabella from the first 4 chapters. I fell in love with her completely. So she is my pick for the orchid. The next flower we're going to be picking is the pink ranunculus, which means dazzled with charm. So for this, you're going to pick a character that most dazzled you with your charm. And for this, the character I picked is from a series of books that I had lost recently, and it aches the innards of my heart. But for this, I picked Adrian Ivashkov from the Vampire Academy series by Rachel Mead because I just loved Adrian. He wasn't even my favorite character in the series, but he is the most charming character I think I've ever had the pleasure of reading about, and I adore him. So the next flower in our garden is a pink Gerbera daisy, which basically means joy and happiness. So for this, you're going to be picking a book or the cover makes you the happiest when you see it. And I had a tough time picking a book because Children of Blood and Bone has just such a beautiful cover, and I absolutely love it. But instead, I went with Caraval by Stephanie Garber, which also is good because it's the Gerbera flower, so I feel like it just works. But just this cover is just so, look at this cover. It drew me in. And the best part is that behind the dust jacket, it's just this one little tear. It's just such a beautiful cover, guys. I just absolutely love it. So the last flower we're going to be picking in our garden is actually a bonus flower. So if you want to do it, you can. Basically, you're going to be picking your favorite flower, looking up the meaning of that flower, and then coming up with a question for that flower. My favorite flower is the lily, and that's usually the flower that means death, or it's the funeral flower, because I'm just like a bright, sunny person like that. So for my question, I'm going to be picking a character whose death affected me the most. And for this character, I'm picking Mason Ashford from the Vampire Academy series, because that was just the death that really affected me the most. I mean, I read those when I was 14 years old, and now I am 23, and that death is still the death that just affected me so profoundly, and I don't know why, but it did. So that's my pick for that one. That's it for my book tags. I will be tagging storybooks, Marvelous books, and Crossroad Reviews. You guys, you're up next. Their links will be in the description below. And I will see you next time you travel back down my rabbit hole.